Hey everybody, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing a little review and a quick demo of the Tanya Burr cosmetics that my friend Gemma sent me. She sent me an eyeshadow palette, the cheek palette, the perfect brows palette, two lip products. One's a gloss and one's a matte lip. And then she also sent me two concealers. She sent me the Lasting Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer, which I have used this in the past. It's one of my most favorite concealers. I wish they sold this in the United States. And then this other one here from Bourjois that's completely new to me. It is the Radiance Reveal Correct Illuminate and 24-hour Hydration Concealer. I'll just go ahead and start with this since it's in my hand. I've used this concealer 3 times now. I actually really do like it. I don't feel like it's as much coverage as the collection, but I think it's a decent amount. It says here that it's 24-hour hydration and has a smoothing effect. I feel like it's pretty smoothing. I mean, I actually really like it. I think it's a really nice concealer. I cannot remember how much this cost. I went on the Superdrug website and found it and asked her to pick it up for me. But I cannot remember. They don't sell this in the United States anyway, so... But if you have a friend that lives overseas and can grab one for you, I do recommend it. But again, if you need a heavier coverage, this might not be for you. I did build this up just a little bit. It does have the ability to build, but you can't build it to a full coverage, I don't think. I feel like if you just keep putting this on, it's just going to look like you have a ton of makeup on. It's not going to really offer you more coverage. It's just going to look like you have a ton of concealer piled on. But I do like this, and I'm glad that I have it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the eyebrow palette here. So inside the palette, and if you are nitpicky about packaging, this might not appeal to you. The packaging is cardboard, and also the designs on it, I would feel like this would appeal more to someone who's maybe between the ages of 9 and 13. It's very sort of preteen in my opinion. But again, I'm not nitpicky about packaging, so that doesn't really bother me. Again, it is cardboard. On the inside of each of these palettes, there is a mirror. It's a pretty good size mirror. In the eyebrow kit, there are 4 powders, 2 darker ones, mid-tone, and then there's one called Fairy Cake, which looks like it is a highlight color. The one thing I would have liked to have seen in the palette is an eyebrow color that was a little bit more cool or ashy toned. These are a little bit on the warm side, which isn't a complete turn-off, but I tend to gravitate more towards cooler ashy tones for my eyebrows. In my eyebrows, I used a combination of Hot Cocoa and Pebble, these 2 colors here. And I don't think it's horrible, but it is on the warm side, and that's something that I'm not used to. I'm not opposed to it, though. I actually think it brings a little bit of warmth to my complexion, which is always nice. I really like the eyebrow palette. The eyebrow powders, they go on nicely. I have used them with and without wax. I prefer them with wax, but in today's video, I did not apply wax. I just put them straight on. They can be a little bit powdery, but again, to me, it's not a big deal. Overall, I think the eyebrow palette is really nice, and it is definitely something that I would recommend. Okay, the eyeshadow palette. I don't want to say anything bad, okay? And I feel like maybe this is more for, like, if you're going to do, like, an overall smoky eye. If you are, then this might be a good palette. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Okay, here's the thing. I wish that the eyeshadows were as pigmented as the eyebrow powders, because they're not, okay? Not in this palette anyway, all right? So... again, it comes with a mirror. This one has a heart-shaped mirror on the inside. And it comes with these 4 colors here: Snowflake, Moonlight, Stormy Sky, and Starry Night. Okay? So, I mean, right off the bat, that color right there really, really super appealed to me. Until I put it on, and I was like, where is it? Stormy Sky, it looks like it would be a great color, but where is it? I can't find you. All right, so I have these colors on. I have all 4 of them on. Moonlight, this one here is all over my lid. This is in my crease. That one's in the inner corner, and that one is my eyeliner. These 2 showed up more than the other 2. So let me zoom in for you. So you can see my liner is, what is it called? Starry Night. And it's just a sort of like a very, it looks like maybe like a subtle cut crease. And I really, really, really had to build that crease color, Stormy Sky. I really had to build it. Like I had to work hard to get it to look the way that it does. I did not use a colored eyeshadow base. I used Bare Study from MAC, and you'll see it again later in the video, but this has no color to it. And I used this because it's a little bit shimmery, and I thought maybe it would help to pick up the shimmer, because this is not the first time I've used this palette. I've used this palette 3 times now, trying to make it work. If you're going to do a smoky eye, yeah, the black is perfect. This is perfect, but these two colors, they're almost non-existent. So I would suggest, like, if you're going to use this in your crease, really, really taking your time and building the color up, and just keep adding layers and layers to get it to the point where you can actually see it. I don't think it's horrible. If you're the kind of person that's more on the subtle side, you will love this palette. Again, it's not bad. It's just the pigmentation is lacking, especially in Stormy Sky and Moonlight. Like, seriously lacking. Now, the highlight, the inner corner highlight, look at, very nice. You can definitely see that. The black, you can definitely see it, but the other two colors, just very super subtle. Maybe that's what she was going for with this palette. I would like to try other eyeshadow palettes just to test them out, but for now, like, my first impression of this one is that the colors are sheer. The two colors especially are very sheer, and they're kind of lacking pigmentation. You have to work to build Stormy Sky up. I didn't even try to build this up. I just didn't feel like it was possible. So there it is, just swatched on my finger. And it looks really nice swatched on your finger, and then you put it on and it just sort of disappears. Like, that would actually probably be a really good cheek highlight. Yeah. So maybe I can use that as a cheek highlight. I gotta put some over here now. Okay, so if I had to rate this, 1 being horrible and 5 being awesome, I would put this right around a 3. It's not horrible, you know, but it's just those two colors, and I was really excited about those two colors in particular when I opened the palette. Okay, the cheek palette. This is called Rosy Flush. Big old mirror in there. I like the fact that there's a big mirror in it. There's a highlight, a blush, and a bronzer. Now, I've used the bronzer 3 times now. Before I filmed this video, I've used it 3 times. The first time I used it, it came off looking a little pink, and I'm like, okay, maybe some of the blush powder, you know, migrated over on top of the bronzer. No big deal. So I took my brush and I kind of swept over the top, and I blew some of it off, and then I used it again, and the same thing. So I feel like this blush or this bronzer is a little pinky, and it doesn't really look like it when you look at it, but it doesn't look like a regular bronzer to me. It looks more like a pinky bronzer. I don't know how to explain it. Pretty Peony is a nice blush. I have it on. Of course, I wear my blush more on the subtle side. You guys know that I'm not a huge blush person. Oyster Shell, which is the highlight. It's not a bad highlight. I feel like it was, I just put the eyeshadow on top of it, but I feel like it is a little bit powdery, but overall it's not bad. To be honest with you guys, I feel like for the price point, these are awesome products for the price. You know, if she raises the price on these, they're not going to be worth the money. I mean, in my opinion, they won't be worth the money. But I think these are great for people that are maybe just starting off with makeup. You're on a budget, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. They work. I mean, obviously you can see I'm wearing the makeup. It looks nice. I don't think it looks bad. But this bronzer, I'm really like, because when I put it on my finger, it's brown. And you can see that it's brown. But I used a clean brush on my face when I put it on, and it was still coming up looking a little rosy. I couldn't understand it. But Anyway, all right, so enough with the palettes. Now onto the lips. Okay, the matte lip, I did not really like how this went on. First of all, the packaging is deceiving. This is really super bright. Like when I look at this, I think because it's in a frosted bottle, you can't really tell how bright this is. So when I put it on, first off, I was like, whoa, this is a lot brighter than I thought it was going to be, but not a big deal because I can work with it, right? So I put it on. It was a little bit streaky, and it sort of built up right at that border between where my lips are dry and where they're always wet. So then I put another layer on. I had a little bit of a hard time working with it. Now, my experience with liquid matte lipsticks is very limited. I own one other. It is from Lime Crime. It goes on, it's smooth, it stays put, it's not streaky or chunky, but this one was a little bit on the streaky side, and I didn't really like how it sat on my lips. The lip gloss, not a big fan of the lip gloss either. It did the same thing in that it didn't go on smoothly. It felt like it sort of pulled up in certain areas on my lips, and then again, right there at that border between dry and wet, it sort of built up and looked chunky on my lips. The one good thing about the lip gloss though is that it's not overly sticky, and it did stay put. Like once it went on, it sort of settled and it stayed put. And again, it's not overly sticky, and it smells good. It smells like watermelon, like a typical kid's sort of makeup. Has that watermelon smell to it. The liquid matte lipstick has a nice smell, like I think it's vanilla. But the packaging is really cute. I just, she needs to do away with the frosted packaging because it's so deceiving. I never would have thought that this would have been that bright. And you guys will see in the video. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking about the products now. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave those down in the description box. Hopefully I covered everything. I don't really talk too much about the products and the way they perform in the video because I filmed first. I decided to film the look first and then kind of collect my thoughts on what I wanted to say. So that's it, you guys, for now. Let's go ahead and get on with the demo. I'm going to go ahead and start with my eyebrows, and I am going to use the little brush that came with the eyebrow kit. And I'm going to start off with Hot Cocoa, which is the darker color. I don't know about this brush. Then I'm going to go into the lighter color here. That one is called Pebble. And it's going to go through the front of my brow. I can't use this brush. I need to use my, I need to use my 263 brush. This one that came in the kit, it's just a little too fat. It's not as narrow as I like it, so I'm going to go back to my 263. Then I'm going to go back into a little bit of Hot Chocolate just for this bottom part here. And then back into Pebble, just to mix those two together so it's not quite so dark. Just going to use a little bit of a MAC paint pot for my base before I put the eyeshadow on. I'm going to go back into the brow palette, and I'm going to use a little bit of Fairy Cake, and I'm going to press that in right along my brow bone here underneath the eyebrow. Okay, onto the eyeshadows. I'm going to start with this color here. It's called Stormy Sky, and I'm going to apply that to my crease. Now this color I am somewhat disappointed in. It's a barely there color, and it's hardly even showing up on my skin. And I used Bare Study Paint Pot from MAC, which is, I'll show you, this one here. So it's lighter. It's not like I added a lot of color to my eyelid, but this is barely showing up on me. And if you know MAC colors, MAC foundation colors, I'm an NC20. So I'm definitely not darker than this eyeshadow. So very, very subtle. It's not really, I'm not even really able to build it up. And I'll zoom in here for you so you can see. It's barely showing up. And this is the fourth layer, I believe, that I put on of this color. And as you can see, it's not really showing up on me. All right, so we're going to move on to the next color here. I'm going to use Moonlight, which is this one here. I would like to be able to try some more of her other palettes. I mean, maybe this one was a bad batch, or maybe it's meant to be more on the sheer side. This one's not really showing up either. I'm going to switch up my brush here. This is a MAC 239, and this isn't depositing any more color either. Okay, back to Stormy Sky on a MAC 219 pencil brush. And I'm just going to apply this to the lower lash line. I think I'm going to use a little bit of the black as liner. So we're going to take Starry Night, which is this glittery black, and I'm going to use that as liner. Well, the black isn't so bad. It's working pretty nicely as a liner. And the pigmentation isn't bad. Okay, so you can see I've got quite a bit of fall down, but that doesn't really bother me. I don't care about fall down. I know a lot of people freak out about it and right away condemn an eyeshadow or a company for having fallout with their eyeshadows. I just think that's ridiculous. But but there was a fair amount of fall down with the eyeshadow. Now that I have the black on, I can see the crease color a little bit more. But again, it's very subtle. Like this is a very subtle palette. I'm going to go into Stormy Sky again with my really teeny tiny brush here. And I'm just going to go through this outer corner. So I have a little bit of a cut crease going on here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes and put a little bit of mascara on. I'm going to take a little bit of Snowflake, this color here, on my 219 brush. And I'm just going to put some of that in the inner corner. Okay, I'm trying out a new concealer today. This one is from Bourjois. It is called Radiance Reveal Concealer. Corrects, illuminates, and it claims to have 24-hour hydration. This is what it looks like. And I have already used this. I do like it. It's not bad at all. And I'm going to use my sponge here. I'm just setting my concealer like I normally would, using some of my NARS powder. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of the bronzer. It is called Beach Bronze. That's what it looks like. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and bronze up, and I'm going to use Beach Bronze from the Cheek palette. Okay, and then a little bit of the blush. It is called Pretty Peony. That's what it looks like. And then a little bit of the highlighter. It is called Oyster Shell. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and line my lips quickly first before I put the gloss on. Or I'm going to use the matte lip. Okay, so the matte lip it's streaky. I don't have a lot of experience with liquid matte lipsticks because I'm not a lip person. It dries down pretty quick. It's not sitting very well on my lips. All right, I'm going to go over the top of this with the gloss. It's called Just Peachy, just to see what happens. And that was a huge mistake. All right, I have to take this lip off because it's pretty bad. Okay, I just took the matte lip off, and I'm just going to put some of the gloss on now. All right, it just feels like a typical lip gloss. It's kind of sticky, but Not as bad as MAC lip gloss, that's for sure. Okay guys, so that's it for today's look. I hope you enjoyed the video and my little review on the Tanya Burr Cosmetics line. Let me know what you guys think of the look that I came up with down below. And if you've tried any of her makeup, please let me know what your thoughts are on the line and if you think there's anything else that I should try. So, alright you guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and I will see you all again very soon. Bye.